Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of J. Coon Presents. So it's been about 2 days since I came back from the fighting game tournament, the River City Bowl, and definitely thank you everybody for coming out. Thank you for VCU Fight Club, Sova Fighting Game Community, Mid-Atlantic Combat for showing your support and everything. I definitely had a blast. There was definitely something to play all day long. Plenty of people to mingle with. I got to see a lot of my friends and meet new ones and meet friends that I talked to online for like face to face for the first time. It was definitely really cool to be a part of that. Got to see Tyrone, even though he eliminated me from 2 tournaments, but it's whatever. I definitely respect Tyrone as a player. He's definitely better than me right now, but I'll get there. I'll get there. Definitely did a lot better this time around than I did at River City Runbacks. I participated in the Tekken 6 tournament, the Mortal Kombat tournament, and the Soul Calibur 5 tournament, and then later found out I was actually part of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, even though technically I didn't really sign up for it, but I had already talked to Colin about that, and we got that all straightened out. So, yeah, Soul Calibur actually did a lot better than I thought I was going to this time around. I won 2 matches in winner's bracket and then lost to Tyrone, who sent me to loser's bracket. And then I won another match in loser's bracket, making it to loser's semifinals, and got eliminated there. But I actually come to find out, the match that got me eliminated from Soul Calibur, I was still in the middle of doing a button check, and the guy just rushed me down and took a round. And I actually found out that I could have stopped the fight right there and insisted he restart the set, but I just said keep going. So, I mean, that more or less, that could have been my own fault for getting eliminated in that fight, but I'm not too broken up about it. Tekken 6, I made it to loser semifinals as well, and got eliminated by Tyrone and his godlike Xiao Yu. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I actually drew the short straw. I had to fight 2 of my friends. I got the first fight, I fought my friend Ryan Ramsey, who they were definitely close fights. It wasn't like a pushover for them. They'd win a set, I'd win a set, and then it would come down to the wire on the last set, and they'd wind up coming out on top. So Ryan sent me to loser's bracket, and then I drafted Tyrone again. And it was another close fight, and came down to the very last set, and he eliminated me. But, once again, still not very broken up about it. Mortal Kombat, I did about as well as I did last time, and I think that's just mainly for the fact that Mortal Kombat doesn't have a really big scene here in the Richmond area. Most of the Mortal Kombat players are down in the Sova fighting community. And with me just not having the time or the money to trek down to Hampton or Norfolk every week to practice with these guys, I'm generally left with just fighting online. And one of the things that I'm starting to learn really, really fast is it doesn't matter how good you are online. Fighting somebody real in person without an internet connection lag factoring in is a major, major difference. Like, you could be a god online and still get your ass kicked at a tournament. And with me being in Richmond and there not being a big scene here, all I'm really left with is fighting online. So, I mean, I'm definitely not bad online. Mortal Kombat is definitely one of the games I win the most at online. But two losses, and I was immediately out of Mortal Kombat. So I did just as well as I did at the last tournament on that one. But it was definitely a lot of fun. Definitely big shout outs to Colin Anderson, Adam Lane, Tim Crochet, Tyrone Cleveland, Hector Flores. It was actually his birthday that day, so he showed up a little inebriated and was having some fun. That's definitely for sure. At the tournament, we did get a little bit of a treat. We had one of the more well-known pro fighters there by the name of Noel Brown. And I had heard a lot of stories about, like, oh, Noel's a dick or he's a jerk, and in any other derogatory term that you could pretty much think of. And I'm actually really glad that I was able to put that to rest, if for nobody else, just for myself. Being able to sit and talk with him, I mean, it wasn't an elaborate amount of time. It was only like maybe a minute or two. But he was actually very friendly. He was very easy to approach and everything, and like he was actually really supportive, and it was really uplifting to see him be supportive like that. And he was like, "How many tournaments you in?" And I was like, "Well, I'm in a couple. I only have one left going right now," which at the time I was talking to him, the only tournament I had left I was competing in was Tekken 6. And he was like, "Well, keep at it, you'll get there." And I was like, "Thank you." And we started talking and all that stuff, and told him, yeah, like this is my first year, like really getting serious about the pro fighting thing, and I was actually a little happy because I've already been doing better than I did at the last tournament. And he was like, "Well, what'd you do at the last tournament?" I was like, "I didn't win a single match." And he was like, "Dude, that happens to everybody. Like everybody's first tournament, they pretty much win nothing because they're still getting used to everything. Just keep practicing, keep doing what you can, and you'll get there eventually." And it was really cool to see him be supportive like that. And he's definitely one of the big Marvel players. For those of you that don't know who Noel Brown is, he actually, like, he's one of the guys that, like, he regularly fights like the top pro fighters like Justin Wong, Mike Ross. I don't know if he's fought Daigo or not. FC Jago, Filipino champ, Combo Fiend. Like, he fights these people quite regularly. And I actually had a chance to play him in Marvel, which is his top game. After watching him basically mop the floor with everybody else that has come before him, before I got there, like, I knew for a fact, like, there was no way in hell I was going to beat this guy. So I just worked on just try to make it as difficult for him as possible. Like, I know I'm going to lose, but I'm going to try not to lose royally. So the first round, he kicked the crap out of me, but he perfected the guy who fought before me, but he wasn't able to do that with me. And then our second set, I actually dropped one of his characters, which was kind of a personal victory for me. Like, I knew I wasn't going to win, but hey, like, I knocked one of his characters out, which is more than what some of the other people were able to do fighting him on Saturday. So that was really cool, and it gave me a real taste of, like, just how good these people really are. And overall, it was just a really fantastic time. It was really nice to see just how supportive, like, the fighting game community as a whole really is. Like, talking to everybody, learning from everybody. Like, you'll see people talking in between sets, okay, I did this, and this is how I did this, and this is how you can get around it, and so on and so forth. And that's really how the fighting game community is. Like, they are very willing to offer information. They're willing to help you. They're willing to teach you. They really want you to be able to level up your game, because if you level up your game, you'll be able to help them level up their game, which means the competition grows, which means the fighting community as a whole will actually grow. And it's really rare to see that kind of tight-knit, almost family-esque type of relationship in groups nowadays. So I'm actually pretty thankful that I'm really a part of this. And I'm definitely looking forward to the next tournament that I compete in. I don't remember if there's one that I'm doing in March or not. I think there is. I'm not sure. But the one that sticks out the most is the one that's in early April, which is Flawless Victory up in Northern Virginia, which I believe is an EVO sanctioned tournament. I don't remember if it is or not. I know Civil War is, but I'm not sure if Flawless Victory is. But I will definitely be continuing my training as usual. I'll definitely doing some more Road to EVO videos. Chris Dunham, we looked at our my streaming program and everything, so hopefully I have the being able to stream from consoles problem taken care of, but we'll just have to wait and see. But in other news about the tournament, I actually had a chance to sit down with the guy who pretty much got this entire tournament up and running, which is Robin Paul, aka Renegade, from VCU Fight Club. So what I'm going to do now is actually show you the footage of my interview with him, and he actually had a lot of really cool things to say. So let's go ahead and take a look at that footage, and we'll be right back.
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Thank you again for watching J. Coon Presents. I'm actually here with the brainchild of this entire operation, Mr. Robin Palm. So what's your actual handle for the fighting game community?
My handle is Renegade. I kind of chose it back in 01 because I was like, crap, I need to register for Sharyukin.com and I don't have a handle. Oh, it was a minor league hockey team called the Richmond Renegades, and so I just picked Renegade. And
yeah, I remember them. So kind of a home pride type thing.
yeah, but I mean, I didn't really feel like it was going to stick around for 10 years, but you know, it is what it is. It's stuff.
I mean, Renegade's a good name.
Yeah, it's a good name.
So you're pretty much the brains behind this entire operation. What possessed you to do something like this for the fighting community here in Richmond?
I've just been doing it a long time. Back in like 01, 02, I realized that we had a great arcade up there, like called Game Time back in the day. It was in Alexandria, and no one was running into tournaments up there because no one wanted to do it. And you know, I was like, you know what, tournaments are pretty important. I will do it. And so, I mean, I commuted up to Nova and from Richmond and ran tournaments up to Nova with a really good guy named Dave Fennell, Sparatic. He's kind of out of the scene now, but you know, he was awesome. And we ran those tournaments for a couple years until Game Time closed. I just kept with it, and I really wanted to build a scene here in Richmond, and I feel that I've done that.
So, what does the fighting community as a whole like mean to you? What possessed you to get engrossed in this in the first place?
Man, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of things. It's kind of like the spirit of competition. You know, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. You know, it's where you can really match wits with somebody else. You know, and I guess not have to. And there's only so much like physical gifts. Like I wasn't born to play basketball. I'm not very tall or athletic or anything like that. But you know, I think like fighting games is a more level playing field when it comes to that sort of stuff. But you can still really get that great competition going on. So I just always enjoyed it. And I mean, I grew up on Street Fighter, and it just kind of stuck with me.
So what did you say to assume that Street Fighter is your main game?
Yeah, I mean, like ST is still an all-time favorite of mine, and you know, I kind of prefer the one-on-one fighters. Like I dabble in like the crazy stuff, like Marvel, whatever. But like as people get really, really good at Marvel, I always sort of edge myself out of it. Because I'm just not, you know, my brain can only handle so much at one time. So
there's a lot of randomness going on.
Yeah, it's true.
All right, I've asked a couple people this. We've seen a lot saturation-wise of the fighting games lately, just in the past couple of years. Like we saw Marvel, and then less than a year
I barely do.
And then with Soul Calibur just came out this past week, and King of Fighters before that. The next big one that's coming out is Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Now, there's a lot of controversy going on about this game, whether or not it's going to be good or if it's going to be too gimmicky. Capcom is even doing a reality show called Cross Assault for it. What are your thoughts about how Street Fighter Cross Tekken is going to be?
I mean, I think it's going to be solid. If anything, it reminds me a lot of kind of like an Alpha 3 style, where you have like a sort of a faster paced one-on-one fighter that's a little crazy. Well, it's a two-on-two fighter, but I mean, it's still one character on the screen at the same time. That's a little goofy and has chain combos and all that sort of stuff. So it's just going to appeal. It might be in that somewhere of a niche between SF4 and like something like KOF. You know, it's not going to be as aggressive or jumpy as KOF, but it's definitely going to be more aggressive than Street Fighter 4. It really depends on how the technical characters come out as far as in balance wise and how they're implemented. You know, and how much of a role projectiles have. If projectiles are good, it's gonna be more of a Street Fighter based game. If projectiles suck, it's gonna appeal more to that third strike or maybe like an alpha players where projectiles weren't that really great, and it was more about just footsies, CVS, if you will. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether it's going to be good or not. I mean, I think it's just funny. I think fighting gamers are kind of spoiled because like everybody's like, oh, these new games suck. They weren't around. they weren't around during the 90s when like every company had a fighting game and 90% of them were garbage. Yeah. Like, I mean, really, really bad. Like Primal Rage or like Fighter's History or like all that really
fucking food.
Like, really, really shitty stuff. Like, so, I mean, I don't really think this is a glut of fighting games. I think it's a good amount.
All right, right on. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
No problem.
Would you happen to have any advice for me? People that may want to try and build a community in their hometown, or even some of the aspiring fighters out there.
Well, as far as building up your community, it's like I had. If you go back on the Shoryuken.com, Wake Up Shoryuken archives, I had a whole interview on building your community, and basically it's like know your resources. You know, if you're in a college town, you're on a gold mine. Yeah. If you're in like, you know, a fairly large city, that's pretty good too. Like, I mean, you know, your primary audience is probably like 16 to 30-year-old males. Just like, you know where they hang out, know where they chill. Go to every GameStop launch tournament, you know, and like, you know, try to socialize with people there. Run tournaments, run streams, you know, just get your advice heard. And I mean, Richmond is the same size city as it always been, but our fighting game community has probably tripled in size since Street Fighter 4 came out. So, and as far as like learning to play better, I always kind of my style is very much like I find something that's cheap and I abuse it. Like one tactic that's hard to get around. Like if I find one button that you can't stop, I'm gonna hit that button 30 times. Like so, basically. But what I tell people that are new and starting at the game, defense first. I think a lot of like really really raw players, they think a special move is special and they should just do it no matter what. I'm like, no, you learn to block. Learn your normals, and then you practice the combos. It's really really important just to kind of get your zone. Make them earn that hit. Don't give it to them. You know. And that's pretty much my number one advice to new players.
All right, right on. Well, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, and
thank you very much.
I was just saying, Civil War, end of April 28th, 29th, with a pre-party on the 27th. Road to Evo Major.
Oh yeah, definitely. We're definitely going to be present for that one.
I definitely want to thank Robin for being able to take the time and sit with me and answer some of my questions that not only me but some of the other people were wondering about. So definitely big thanks to you, Robin, for taking time out of your very busy schedule that day to sit down and talk with me. That's pretty much all the time I really have to shed light on this event for this video. So what I'm going to go ahead and leave you off with is something that I'm probably going to wind up doing for virtually every tournament or con report that I'm going to do from now on, which is something everybody loves, a picture montage. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this time around. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate all the support you give me, guys. And let's see the pictures. Thank you for watching, guys. Bye.